How do you even tell a story like Mary's? And how do you do it justice? Because it's a journey. It's a journey with highs, lows, setbacks, failures. But ultimately, it's one that I think serves as an inspiration for a lot of people, and I count myself as one of those people. I'm constantly humbled by what I watch Mary accomplish, and how hard I watch her work and want to be better behind the scenes when the cameras are off. Mary's journey is the journey of This Messy Happy. They started at the same time. As the channel's grown, so has Mary, and they continue to grow together, helping people realise their own dreams, to push their own limits. And what I love the most is that she does it in her own unique way. But I'm assuming you want to hear about it from the person herself. Hi Mary.
Hi.
So I've got you here. I think what would be really nice if you give people the backstory to before This Messy Happy, to Mary, OG Mary. Like what was your childhood like in running and sport?
Well, active, I would say, and actually that video of me was really reminiscent, and that's why I put this yellow vest on, because that yellow outfit was my favourite active outfit. I used to love wearing that and felt awesome. But yeah, I've always been really active, so I did loads of activities as a child, from ballet to gymnastics, and running was always something I felt really passionate about. I had my bedroom covered in pictures of athletes like Linford Christie and Sally Gunnell and John Regis.
I was hoping you were going to mention John Regis.
The powerhouse. And I used to go and watch athletics with my dad. We used to go down to Crystal Palace and Birmingham, and I'd buy Athletics Weekly, and I was really in awe of people that ran brilliantly and that trained and worked hard. And I loved athletics myself. Sports day was my favourite day of the school year, and still is. I absolutely loved everything about it, and I loved competing, and sprinting was my favourite, so I competed a lot in 100 and 200 metres throughout my school career, and got to kind of county level at 200 metres, so I did pretty well. And I, for a time, went to an athletics club, but it was quite hard to get to, so it wasn't something I did consistently, unfortunately. But running was probably my main passion of a sport, always, and something that I did a lot from kind of as young as I can remember to about age 16, I would say. And then dance became like my number one, and I went into teach dance, and really that kind of took over from the running for a long time.
Yeah, you stopped running for a fair while, didn't you? Or stopped running very consistently.
Yeah, I didn't run much at all from the age of kind of like 17 to 27, I'm gonna say, 28.
Yeah.
Now and again for fitness, but never for very far or very consistently at all. Didn't really run for kind of 10 years. And then I started to run when I moved to Brighton, and I live near Preston Park, and anyone that lives near there or has run in Preston Park will know that it's an awesome place to run. And so I used to run there maybe 3 or 4 times a week, but just for kind of mental and physical fitness, really. Kind of 4 kilometres probably, a few times a week.
That brings us up to us meeting, really.
Yeah.
27, 28? You were 29 when we met, just turned.
Yeah. So when I moved to Brighton, I was running, really enjoying it, but just kind of gentle running. I wouldn't even have dreamt of entering a race or an event. It was literally just going out running on my own. I wouldn't have dreamt of running with other people, really. And then that kind of continued, until I met you, and I was running a bit then, just nothing much.
Let's go on a run and talk about that period of our life. What got you in big time?
Okay, let's do it.
Just while the weather is slightly cooler, we're going to take her for a quick 1K, just 1K, yeah?
Yeah.
this is a nice little Saturday morning, isn't it?
It is.
What a wonderful time to be out. So here's what we thought we'd do on this run. We talk about, first of all, we're going to get past the fact, if you're part of the channel, if you know the channel, then you know that for the first kind of 7-8 years of us being married, we tried to have a family. It didn't work out, so running was put on the back burner for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was just in a bubble of working on that and focusing on that and struggling with that, to be honest.
Yeah, so I think that's fair that you didn't run then, but we got to around our 40s and something clicked, something changed. So the real turning point came at around both of us turning 40. You just turned 40,
yeah.
And it was just before for me, and what we decided to do between us was 40 challenges at 40 or before 40 or after 40, whatever you want to call it, but we wanted to set ourselves 40 challenges. So for example, I set myself things like an Ironman and an ultramarathon, and at that point in your training you decided you wanted to do some things that push you because you weren't consistently running then.
Yeah, I had run 5k and I'd done 2 triathlons at that point, 1 year apart previously, but I really wanted to focus on my running and improve my running, and my equivalent of an Ironman or ultramarathon at that point was to enter a 10k, double the distance of what I'd done and knew I could do, and actually enter a race, an adult running event.
An adult running event? Sounds a bit spicy.
I was grown up, I was 40.
You're all grown up?
Yeah.
Let's start at 2018 then, when you did your first 10k,
yeah,
which was the Pancake Run in Celebration, Florida.
Yeah, I chose to enter that one because you'd run it twice. I knew it was a beautiful flat course and it would be while we're away on holiday, so a really special opportunity to run in an amazing place.
And what happened?
What about my new kit?
No, you won.
Oh, yeah, I won it, which was totally unexpected, obviously. It's not a competitive race, and I narrowly beat a woman dressed as a pancake to win, but it was just epic. I couldn't believe it, and you probably couldn't get a better experience for me for my first 10k, which I was so nervous about.
What do you think motivated you to get to that race, do you think?
Well, the training, the preparation.
I think you can say the trainers.
And the new kit. So I was really nervous about the race, and I felt like I didn't have any decent clothes for racing. So I went and bought this whole outfit the day before in Florida at a sports shop, and it just made me feel so epic. And I got my first Garmin, and it got shipped to Florida, and it arrived like the day before the race. So this is the OG racing get-up.
You suddenly felt like you were ready to race because you were wearing race stuff.
Yeah, I felt like I can do this.
And that was the start.
I'm one of these people on the start line that knows what they're doing.
All the gear, no idea at that point. So you ran that in about 46 minutes?
Yep.
What came next?
Then I was just fired up and I entered the Brighton 10k a month later.
Yeah, and you ran that one in
44-ish,
wasn't it? Or 43 high?
43,
we can look that up.
43, 44, I think.
But then something else happened, didn't it? I think you just realised you can go further with a little bit more focus on what you're doing.
Yeah, I'd just been unlocked because suddenly 10k wasn't completely daunting, so I felt like I can step it up further, and I wanted to. I was so motivated and inspired, so I entered a half marathon for the next year.
And then you put in a winter of hard work to run the London landmarks.
Yep, in March 2019. I ran for Tommy's, the charity, so it was really meaningful on a few levels, and I was just so proud that my body was achieving things and doing things where previously I felt like it was failing me. So I just connected so deeply with running and just wanted to do more and more. So,
and how many did you do that year? Half marathons?
5 half marathons that year. It was a year of ups and downs. My second one I got injured. I ran a PB but got injured.
What was the time?
1:34.50. 30.
Yeah.
But I pulled my calf, and you know, I realised then I need to do more strength and conditioning to be able to run more. So I learned a lot through that year. So after 5 half marathons, I wanted to step it up again, and had actually had a lifetime ambition to run a marathon from being young. So I entered Seville Marathon and ran that in February 2020. I think we were one of the only people to run a marathon that year when COVID hit. Yeah, I fell apart in the marathon, but it was an incredible experience, and one I cannot wait to repeat in a big event.
But that year you also ran the virtual New York Marathon, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
There was not much we could do in the middle because it was COVID.
Yeah, we had a place in New York, real.
Yeah.
But it switched to virtual, so I ran it in the middle of a storm, which was another lesson about resilience.
That was 2020, so that just leaves us with 2021. We've got a nice appointment with some dry needling this afternoon, so maybe we'll talk about it on the way to dry needling.
Yeah, or maybe with a coffee.
Maybe with a coffee. So where did we get to? We got to 2021, as in the year that you did your first ultramarathon, right?
Yeah.
Talk me through that. What did you do before? Did you do anything before the ultramarathon? You did a half marathon. Did you do a half marathon?
Well, basically,
you did a few more half marathons.
It was the year that we started in lockdown.
Yeah.
So we started running a half marathon every Sunday.
Yeah.
And I got my 5k PB, but just before that, my running was going really well. I was training probably the most consistently I had the chance to do. And I got the opportunity to enter this virtual ultramarathon, and took it and went for it.
So actually, thinking about it, I haven't even put this, like, we ran really consistently. We ran a half marathon every weekend at the start of 2021 for like the first few months. And off of the back of that, you ran a 5k PB, sub 20 minutes. You ran,
I can't believe I've done that.
You ran a half marathon PB, didn't you?
Yeah.
Like 1:32, so you're getting ever nearer the 90, but with less pressure.
Yeah, I didn't even go out for a PB, I just...
No. And then you ran an ultramarathon, 50 kilometres.
Yeah.
And that kind of took us to the point that we moved to Thailand,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But, what do you think was the biggest kind of... I guess what I think people want to know is what took you to that next level? What were the contributing factors?
Well, I'd say there's a few things. I'm going to try and be quite...
I mean, we've said
concise.
consistency, haven't we? So that's
Yeah.
like one. That's a major one.
Consistency, doing different types of sessions for different purposes, but making each one count. So making the slow run slow, the interval sessions hard, like really focusing in on what each thing should achieve. Buying new running outfits, and I think just experience. I think the more you do, the more relaxed you become at race situations or running with other people, which at first I was really intimidated by, but the more variety you give yourself and the more opportunities you embrace, you just kind of unlock new levels all the time.
Yeah, 2021 was I would call it a breakthrough year for you on many, many levels.
Yeah.
Cheers. It seems kind of fitting that we're finishing the video like this, considering this is one of the things that people really have enjoyed from lockdown on the channel. And this, it's your video. Can you do it one time?
Welcome to...
We're going to talk about moving to Thailand now, I guess. We've talked about everything that you did in the UK, and Thailand has changed you in a lot of different ways, hasn't it? So, like, what have you achieved in Thailand, and how have you achieved it?
I adjusted to running in a hot climate and a totally different environment. I've done a few races now. I've done 10k on the track.
Well, you started with 10k again, didn't you? We both almost went back to the beginning because of the heat. It's like dealing with that heat.
Yeah. So started with 10ks, Then trail running, which has been new to me. My first trail runs, but it's quite a huge thing in Thailand, so it's something I wanted to experience.
Yeah, so
I've done 2 trail races.
Of what distances?
23 kilometres and 33? 34?
Yeah, 33 or 34 kilometre races
like that.
in the heat. Yeah.
And I've done 1 half marathon on the road.
Yes, about to do another half marathon, which is this coming weekend. We're doing the amazing Thailand half marathon in the middle of Bangkok. So
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
It's going to be amazing.
The message, as always, in all of our videos is consistency, isn't it? But there are some other factors that I would attribute to you making this progress within the 3 years. What do you think they are?
Well, I've learned a lot about how to keep running. So things like strength and conditioning, yoga was really good for me, and I've actually just started yoga sessions again because I think when I made a huge leap about this time last year, it was when I was doing quite a lot of yoga. So I'm keen to get back on that and like looking after my body. So today I've been for dry needling.
It's kind of a 2-question thing, isn't it? Are you currently injured? No. But do you want to be injured? No. So I'm investing up front. Yeah, well, your journey has been quite a structured one in terms of how you avoid injury, and I think because you started with run analysis before you started consistently running. So you focused on your technique, you changed it, you invested in strength and conditioning, home workouts and yoga. You had consistency. You've always stretched after every run, always stretched after every run. And I know people are going to say, well, there's no evidence that it works. If you think it works, it works.
Yeah.
That's how I believe stretching is. You're constantly evolving. As Alan Partridge would say, evolution, not revolution.
And yeah, because I'm learning all the time and I still feel like I've got so much to learn. Like even now I'm really working on my technique because I hate it. I hate watching myself run sometimes. I'm really proud of everything I do and my running and the things I've achieved, but I still really cringe and I really want a better technique, like a better heel lift. So I am doing drills and more strength to try and get a better drive, and who knows, like maybe at the age of 43, maybe I can even pull in some more PBs.
Yeah, we surround ourselves with people that push us on.
Yeah.
I think that's another really big one. Find people that are better than you at things and hang around with them. Your journey has been nothing short of amazing, and I think it's mirrored the channel. It's grown. People have kind of feel like they're with you. They're growing with you because you started when this channel started, and it's not literally you run all your life, but you restarted. The reboot.
Restart, like Mary 2.0.
Mary 2.0 started when This Messy Happy started.
Yeah, I'm really grateful for all the support, and people are so kind to me and like celebrate my little wins and successes with me, so thank you.
Yeah, now you can do your goodbye.
Oh yeah. Oh, look at that.
Don't change the subject.
No, that's massive though. Thanks so much for watching. Tune in on Wednesday for Ben's video on training for different races, and Squid Game coming soon. Peace out.
Not bad, well done.
Peace out. Don't cut me off.
What do you mean? It was going so well.
See how this empty. I see what you're doing. You're switching off.